get it on the first.
All right.
You might.
Testing the audio levels. Check. 1, 2.
Check. Oh, God. Turn me down.
Well, you know what? Bring the microphone down. Quit eating.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, it does. Believe it or not, it does.
I'm sorry, if you keep it up here the whole week, that doesn't help me at all.
You know, it's so funny. Whenever we do, at certain points, you'll eat that microphone, and then the rest of it, you're like a mile away from it, and I'm playing this. Not quite that bad, but you know what I mean.
I do that with mine, but my mic can pick me up from that far.
Yeah, but it's pretty echoey. We got to do something. All right.
We do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spidercast Podcast. This is where father and son go down the rabbit hole of tech, gaming, and the meaning of life. Well, we're back.
We're back.
You survived.
Oh.
Yeah. Last week's episode was pretty hilarious. If you didn't watch it, you can.
I survived that onslaught, and no, I did not chug the ranch. I couldn't. My stomach was horrible.
Yeah, he made a quick run to the. Did you make it to the bathroom or the trash can?
I made it to the trash can.
Trash can. See there, right there is what I'm talking about. You.
Because I look off this way. Because I'm looking at you.
But that's why you see me. That's why you see me do this.
Yeah, but then I'm worried about because half the time I'm worried, am I in shot?
I'm not worried. Well.
Yeah, you're not worried about if you're in shot because you're furthest as you can be, and you're still in shot.
Barely. You notice I just moved the microphone so I could be back in shot because my head was like this.
Yeah, but this is my channel.
Yeah. See that smiling face.
Yeah. Big boy problems.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about the celebrating the 50 years of the Apollo program. We're gonna talk about Bethesda re-releasing Doom and the DRM issues, and the recent update to that topic. The GTA Online casino gambling, Nintendo responding to Joycon Drift, Marvel news, and a school district gets very crazy with its past due lunch fees. Yeah,
I read up on that last one. It's stupid.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there's gonna be some filth coming out of my mouth when we get to that topic.
And I actually meant to throw in the Fortnite World Cup stuff from this weekend.
Well, let's just talk about that. And I only know tidbits. I only know tidbits of that information.
Okay. Well, there was the Pro-Am, which was where pro players got to do duos with a celebrity. Ali went to that, and he got plays with an NBA player, Aaron. I forget his last name.
So Ali was actually participating in it.
Yes, but he did not win anything. Him and his partner placed like middle of the pack. But they were going against Tfue, Slogo Man, Ninja Marshmallow, I think, got close to winning.
I know from what, at least as far as the regular tournament, I know like the regular tournament, like the lowest thing was like $50,000.
That might have been squads.
I think it was solo.
No, solo was $3 million.
That was the winner. I'm talking about for the losers. Was
like third place?
No, I saw. I watched a little bit of Philip DeFranco, and they showed like the breakdown of what the winnings were, and like I think it was like top 20. I think the lowest I saw was like $200,000, but like the losers were like $50,000. Apparently, we don't play enough Fortnite.
Who, me?
Both of us.
Okay. Prize money was $3 million, but the prize pool was $30.
$3 million was the winner of the solo, which went to a 16-year-old. Don't ask me to pronounce his name.
His screen name was Booga.
Yeah, something.
Bugah.
It almost sounds like booger.
Okay, there's that.
Don't ever let your folks. Don't ever let your parents tell you that you can't make money playing video games. But the chances of you winning money playing video games is
very
low. Is pretty much you have probably a better chance of becoming an actor or actress than becoming a professional gamer. But it's amazing the number of colleges that now have adopted that.
Okay, so the winner of the solos, $3 million. Winner of duo.
Hold on.
The winner.
Try it now.
You better?
That's better.
Okay. The winner of the solos was $3 million. The winner of duos split between two people, $1.5 million. And every player that qualified for the finals will receive a share of the prize fund, with the minimum amount received for the lowest place finishers standing at $50,000.
Yeah.
In the Celebrity Pro Am event, a host of pro players, celebrities, and internet stars will compete for a share of $3 million in prize money that will be donated to a charity of their choice.
I was gonna say, yeah, I imagine a lot of those celebrity ones were just doing it for charity.
Okay,
that's cool though.
Yeah,
that's cool that they were doing charity. I'm always for that kind of thing when you have the time or the money to be able to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, I personally as a motorcycle rider, I try to do a few of those a year, for different events, but I'll be honest, I don't get to do as many as I'd like. Speaking of which, my bike is down. Yeah.
How much you spending? Oh wait, I think I heard this yesterday. Unless you spent more.
You pretty much. Well, I still got to go to the Harley dealer and get. There's one hose I need to replace. So I still got. I'll do it.
You got to replace your hose.
I got to replace my hose. 'Cause I got holes, different area codes.
You said holes in different area codes.
I was trying to be somewhat friendly about it. Not really, but anyway.
Family friendly. We do that here.
Sometimes.
Dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody doesn't know, I'm a motorcycle rider. I've had my own bike for over 5 years now. I've been riding for probably almost 6 years on and off, and then but I grew up doing 4-wheelers and dirt bikes, and so for me it was when I was ready to jump into the motorcycling world, I definitely wasn't a complete noob, and you're not allowed to touch a motorcycle after.
Give me a few years.
So somebody at work asked me that question. It's like, so does your son ride? I was like, don't you know the answer to that question? And he's like, no, why? I said, a mini bike accident was the reason why you had all the knee surgeries. I said, it wasn't our mini bike, but it was still a mini bike. I was like, you're not allowed to touch one for a while.
Give me a few years.
I do eventually hope to maybe get you riding, but it's.
I would like to.
It's one of those things. Let's get the license thing first. We'll be doing that here hopefully next few weeks. You get your permit and get your license, and then we'll talk about a motorcycle a little bit. I'm telling you right now.
After I get my license, when you say no motorcycle, I'm going to pull this video up and.
I'm not the one saying no motorcycle. Your mom is the one you got to convince.
Well, that's easy. I'm going to be 18 by that time.
True. Not false.
But then again, I can stay on your guys' health insurance till 26.
Yeah, but let me tell you right now, you're paying the deductibles. I am not paying them for them. Oh, my God. For anybody who doesn't know, last year, he was in a slight mini bike accident. There's a little 5 horsepower.
Oh, that was no 5 horsepower mini bike.
Well, it's supposed to be a 5 horsepower.
It wasn't.
Anyway.
Predator motor does not put out 5 horsepower.
So this little idiot here, instead of laying the bike down or jumping off of it, because it's.
I was thinking jump, but I didn't jump.
Yeah, you should have jumped.
And frankly, I think jumping would have hurt me more than.
I don't think so. But anyway, he ended up ramming himself into the pole of a chain link fence, and now while that wasn't the cause of both knee problems, the one that ended up having the double surgery, we're pretty sure that was the cause of most of that damage. And so, yeah, and that cost me well over $10,000 out of pocket. Yeah. So, and even with the insurance was $200,000.
They weren't happy with us.
I'm sure they were not happy with it. But they'll get over it. But
we have them for a reason.
Yeah, I still had to cash out on my 401k to pay the deductibles, so they weren't coming after us for what we spent. But anyway, back to the whole bike thing. The last time I rode it, which has been a few weeks before, it was before we went on vacation. It kind of spit and sputtered a little bit at me, and then it kind of cleared up after I rode it for a while. And I kind of figured I was going to need to take a look at it, but because it's a 2000 Sportster carbureted, and I've never had the carb jetted or tuned or whatever you want to call it, and I bought it the way it was. So I just it ran fine. It always ran rich. I always knew it ran rich, but then this last week I went to take off with it, and it just was like blip blip blip. I mean, it was just spitting and sputtering and backfiring. And so the next day I pulled the plugs. They were all fouled up. I tried to clean them up, put it back in. It didn't work.
And so it was yesterday that you got my friend over.
Yep, I got your friend over. He's kind of the jack of all trades, master of none, and got him to help me pull the carb off. And we were just gonna clean it and then put it back. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna have it. I'm just gonna get the parts. We'll just rebuild it. And I was gonna go ahead and we checked to see what the jet's in it. It's got a 200 jet in it, which I think is a little too big. Which, considering how rich the bike always ran, it doesn't surprise me. Stock is supposed to be 170, 175, something like that. And if it was a California bike, it would be like a 180, and it's got a 200 in it. Now, the idea of jetting a carb basically is kind of like adding bigger injectors, and it does have an intake. It does have a aftermarket exhaust system. So there was a reason why it would have had a bigger jet in it, but in the same boat, it was one of those things that should have. I don't think it should have been that big. I think 200 would have been if it had a full cam and all that stuff in it, maybe 200. But I think it's not. I think it's too big. So I ordered a 190. So I know it's bigger than the OEM, but it's not crazy. So we'll see what happens. I'll kind of report then in the next episode or so when we get
when he actually gets it on.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the parts to show up. Thank you, JP Cycles. Not a sponsor.
Sadly for you.
Yeah, sadly for me. I would gladly take JP Cycles for a sponsorship.
Maybe if you get your channel up and running a bit more.
Oh, have you happened to notice? Did you notice the Sci-Fi Nice podcast notes? I actually did a full set of notes.
Oh, did you actually finally get the notes?
I've got a full set of notes for the first topic that we're going to discuss. So.
For the first topic.
For the first topic. So, yeah. Yay. Probably going to try to record that tomorrow, if possible.
Oh, you're wanting to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. Not with you.
Okay, so that's a you Insidious?
That's a me Insidious.
Okay.
So, but anyway,
Thank
all right.
God
So,
for that episode.
Anything else you want to report while we're on personal subjects?
Nah.
You've been playing a lot of video games. You've been avoiding the outdoors.
I have.
Because you've been, you've been playing the night.
I've been playing the night shift.
Yeah.
I've been streaming night shift. Even though actually today I did stream day shift.
Yeah, you did a little bit today.
I streamed for probably about 50 minutes, played a different game. Actually,
I wish I had some tissues. My nose is starting to run a little bit. They're all the way over on my...
Yeah, I'm not going over there.
But anyway.
It's actually a very interesting game, like it. But...
Oh, I picked up... Because, you know what, I'll talk about that when we talk about Doom, because I did pick up something. So the 50 years of the Apollo program, that celebration's been going on the last couple of weeks. For anybody who doesn't know,
caught a little bit of it.
The big thing is talking about, the Apollo 11. I think it's Apollo 11.
Apollo 11 was the
moon landing.
18, no? Was it? I think 18 was the big one that failed. That blew up.
I think. Well, maybe it was.
Okay, I was right when I talked to Sidious about this.
And Apollo 13, of course, is the famous failure that they survived. They made it back.
Yeah.
But I think there was one. I'm pretty sure that like totally blew up and they all perished in it.
Okay, Apollo 11 was the first. So that was the famous one surviving on the moon.
Made it on the moon.
18. Please don't give me a film on that. Okay, gave me the film. 15 and 19 were canceled in September.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But the fame, you know, when we talk about the Apollo landing, the one that everybody remembers either because of what they were taught in school or if they were lucky enough to have seen that back in the day. Damn, I apologize. I've got to have a tissue. I was fine up until that point.
What I'm seeing is saying that the Apollo 18 crew was canceled, but they actually went to the moon but never returned. That's what I'm seeing.
I'll have to look that up. I don't.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that's bits and pieces, but yeah. So, you know, we talk about the moon landing. Obviously, you know, it's been made movies and things like that because that's the one everybody remembers. That's the one everybody talks about. Is us, you know, talking about, you know, one giant step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Neil Armstrong.
Yep. Hold on just a second. I'm going to mute myself.
Spell it backwards. You spell alien.
You know, the sad part is that I always have to blow my nose every week. Usually I muscle through it through the episode, and I don't know why. I don't know why every time we do the podcast, my nose starts running. It's just such a weird thing, and it doesn't matter. I could blow my nose right before we start, and somewhere in the middle it starts bothering me again. It's so weird. An interesting fact that kind of corresponds with the whole moon landing. Someone, and apparently he worked for NASA or something, but he had bought a government surplus for $217.77, and he bought it in 1973. And apparently it had an original reel. Now I'm hiccuping. It had an original reel of the Apollo landing. Unadulterated, unrestored, unenhanced. And apparently the condition was way better than anything that has ever been seen on TV. Because a lot of what we've ever seen on TV has always been what the news stations recorded during, you know, because it was a big thing, obviously. It was on all the news channels. And that recording was sort of a restream of the original. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like it wasn't a one-to-one.
Yeah, it wasn't a raw.
Yeah, it wasn't a raw video. So it sells at auction for $1.8 million.
Has it sold yet?
Yeah, it's sold. That's what it sold for.
Did the government buy it?
No, you know what? I haven't heard if it was a private collector or if it was like a museum or something like that.
If a museum bought it and they could actually find a way to put it up,
I'm hoping that
Kennedy Space.
I'm hoping whoever bought it will at least have it digitally copied and have something available either through the Smithsonian or something like that. I'm really hoping that happens. I'm actually kind of pissed in a certain way.
Why did the guy sell it and not just go here? American history.
You know what? It's one of those things. Like, I don't necessarily I do blame the guy, but I don't blame the guy. I mean, he knew it was going to go big money, especially with, you know, being the 50th anniversary and all that. My only problem, part of my problem is one, he should have never been able to get his hands on it. You know what I mean? Technically that's not only just American history, but that's like
world history.
Well, the thing is, it's like it could technically almost be considered classified history.
How would that be classified?
Because a lot of the stuff from the Apollo, from all the Apollo missions was, you know, there were parts that were shown to the public, but there were parts of that would be considered classified information.
Yeah, but that's so far in the past.
There's so much stuff that's still technically classified that that's 50 years old. I mean, think about the stealth program. Stealth program started back in the 50s.
Are you talking about the stealth bombers?
What eventually became the stealth bombers, most of that technology is still considered classified, and most of that started back in the 50s and 60s. Some of the how that technology and that design originally came about. Now, what a lot of people speculate, at least or what's been told about the stealth program, was that even though some of the early stuff was developed, and there are been some prototypes that's been shown over the years, but some of that stuff was, it's still technically considered classified, but it's, it wasn't until the 70s and 80s when the technology got to the point where they can make those planes stable enough to actually be useful. But most of that stuff was developed in the 50s and 60s. The space program was part of the reason that stuff came about. But yeah,
science.
So I'm kind of surprised that the military didn't step in and confiscate the tapes. I'm really surprised it didn't. That they allowed.
Well, like I was saying, it's so far in the past, it shouldn't really matter.
You would think, but like I said, considering the importance of Apollo 11 and all the stuff that went on with the Apollo program, I mean, yeah.
There was a lot of fails. There was a lot of deaths.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of brazen people who risked their lives and gave their lives to do amazing things.
Beat the communists to the moon.
Well, and the thing is you look at a lot of people look at the space program as kind of this glamorous, kind of like almost like a TV show in a certain way. And the Apollo program really brought a new wave of technology. I mean, there were things that were thrown together that were developed at the last minute. There was new types of fabrics. There was new types of computer technology that was developed during those programs. I mean, I saw a thing with it was funny because Linus from Linus Tech Tips did a video. He got to go to NASA, and they showed the ring of one of the Saturn rockets that had all the and he got to break down like what the components was in that ring. Like the guidance system and the computers and the transmitters.
Oh, like an actual piece
of the power packs and it was an actual piece of the Saturn rocket that they had on display, and he got up close with and got to say, hey, this is what this was, and this is what this was, and this is how it all worked. It was a pretty interesting piece. I mean, it wasn't super technical, but it was just kind of a cool piece for anybody that's. I'm a bit of a space nut. I attribute to that.
I don't really like astrology that much, but I understand it enough.
For me, it's
chemistry is more my forte.
For me, I grew up as a kid. I kind of dreamt of being a NASA astronaut.
Well, everyone has that.
I know.
I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a rock star.
Right. Everybody has that childhood dream. Mine was, considering how bad my thing of fear of heights is. It's it's one of the many reasons why I never even pursued that.
But because you couldn't look out the thing and go, "Holy crap, we're floating above the Earth."
Yeah, well, I'm the kind of person, if I get so a certain height, I will literally pass out. And
do you not think that some of those astronauts did pass out
from
that launch?
I would be interested in that. Somebody just messaged in the chat.
It's Joe.
Is it Joe?
Astronomy, not astrology. Yeah, Joe.
Wow, I haven't seen Joe in forever.
Yeah, I talk to Joe every now and then.
What's up, Joe? But yeah, I mean we all as children, there are things that we want to be, and I think it's also my love of science fiction when it comes to Star Wars and Star Trek and all the things in between. My love of that comes from my love kind of NASA, and like I said, there were a lot of things that were
And how many millions of dollars have we funneled into NASA? He's been here listening.
There's a reason why he's Joe Lurker, right?
Yeah.
Because he likes to lurk in the background.
Well, he's changed his Steam name multiple times now.
He changes it every other week. It's hard to keep up.
Well, no, I randomly see something, and I'm like, I never friended this guy. And then I start looking, I'm like, oh, that's Joe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what? Before we start the next topic, let's break into the sodas. Hopefully this week I think we've gotten through all the really nasty ones. Now, one of these could be kind of.
Yeah, this one might be disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing myself anymore.
Yeah, it is weird.
Chicken.
Yeah, that's weird. You're still talking, and I can't hear you either.
Okay.
Hold
Joe,
on.
can you hear me? Wait, am I still going through? Okay, I'm still going through.
Can you hear me now?
No. Is this? What?
Oh. Hey, don't do
check,
that.
Check. Oh, son of a.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, check.
That's so weird.
Check. Okay, it says I'm going through.
It's been saying you've been going through. It's just I couldn't hear you. I don't know why.
I'm not hearing you through my headset either.
I'm hearing you. But you're not hearing me?
No. Okay. Talk. Okay, I hear you.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, people.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I'm still not
there.
hearing myself, but
you're not hearing yourself?
No, I.
Huh, that's weird. Can you hear me now?
I hear you, but I don't hear myself. Hi.
That's so weird. Huh.
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, I hear myself. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely don't hear myself.
Okay. I apparently have some things to look out.
You might have hit something. Okay, here, I'll show you.
I don't know what I would have hit.
I hear you both. Okay, Joe. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, so first one on the docket is that reading right?
Rocket Fizz and Marshmallow for anybody who may or may not be able to read the shiny part of it.
It's marshmallow.
And this is another one of these Rocket Fizzes that we bought at the Rocket Fizz store while we were on vacation.
Well, the other nasty ones were Lester's Fixins. We don't have any more Lester's Fixins. I checked. I hope. We still have strawberry rhubarb, black cherry.
Yeah, you just.
What?
You just went out of my headset. It's so weird.
Okay. Well, first crack.
Huh. That's so weird.
Smell that. The initial smells. That's a really sugary smell.
I smell vanilla.
I smell vanilla, definitely. Okay.
Right. I'm going to have to put one ear out because...
Try that. Nothing bad.
It's not bad.
It's not.
That's weird.
I definitely get marshmallow at the very end of the roller coaster.
I get a very strong thing of vanilla.
Oh yeah, vanilla hits you hard on this one.
Get it more on the second taste. It's actually drinkable. It's not something I would say like I would absolutely like just grab for.
I definitely wouldn't chug that. After
that's I could chug that way easier than I could chug anything else we've had in the past few weeks.
True. Now we have this other one.
The other one's just
it looks like an actual beer bottle.
Yeah, it's not beer, folks.
Joe, it's not beer. This is Hank's Gourmet Vanilla Cream Soda.
Soda. It's not pop, it's soda.
Which I actually like. You know, you have the actual label here, and then you have the mini label.
Yeah, it is a really nice bottle. I will say that.
I almost want to keep this bottle.
It is very close to a beer bottle.
Almost want to keep this bottle, just because of how nice it is.
That actually says twist off.
Does it?
That one actually does say. It looks like it says twist off.
Was this one twist off?
Apparently, this one was a twist off. We've never been 100% sure. It does, yeah. I can tell you, it's got grooves. It was a twist.
Here. Yeah, you're better at the twist than
I'm better at the twist. I've been looking forward to this one. This one's been kind of.
Oh, you didn't even smell it. You just went straight in for the taste.
It's not a huge smell.
No, but you at least smell the vanilla.
Definitely vanilla. That's a good one. I wish it was a little colder.
You wanted to stick it in the freezer right now.
Yeah. I have a thing for, I love
He loves
I like
slushy soda.
Well, certain sodas I do like slushy, but if I can get it right to the point where it's starting to frost over, that's the magic. If the bottle you pull the bottle out and it's frosted, it's starting to frost on it. Oh my God, that's what I love.
So,
vanilla cream's good.
Marshmallow's definitely good.
Marshmallow's okay.
I think these might be the two best ones.
Oh yeah, these are so fun.
So far, these two are first and second place out of the 6 that we drank so far. Well, wait, are we going to include the Sprite ones in this, or?
I had the Sprite. I opened up one of the Sprite ones the other day.
I had a Sprite too.
We found Sprite lemonade, which is just it's not that it's bad. It's just really weird.
I got lemonade halfway through the bottle. That's where I got the full-on lemonade taste.
Yeah, it's so weird. What is it with you? Every time we have anything fizzy, you're belching up the storm.
Because it's fizzy.
Yeah, it's just.
I swear I'm not tweaking out.
He's tweaking out. You're tweaking out, man. Sorry, that's a slight reference to Super Troopers. Like, I'm freaking out, man. You are freaking out, man.
Oh, and the first scene.
One of the early scenes of the movie, yeah.
You boys like Mexico? I swear Nash just burst through the door now.
He is supposed to come over.
Yeah, I know. He texted me asking if he was still coming over with Mitchell. I said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So
if we get interrupted, it's them.
Yeah, it's them. I would say, especially if you're a cream soda fan, I think the vanilla cream soda is a good. In fact, I want to save some of that for Doc.
Yeah, he's a big cream soda drinker.
He likes cream soda. I'd like to see him try that one too.
See, that one, going back to last week, because you said that the ranch one looked like Smirnoff Ice.
That one definitely.
That one's definitely Smirnoff Ice color.
Yeah, it's definitely got the color.
Now you could mess with someone with the taste.
Yeah.
Just relabeled the darn thing.
I would definitely say if you're a cream soda fan, the Hanks one is definitely a good try. Like I said, I really like the bottle. Very.
The bottle looks like they actually put time to actually look.
Yeah, this is a quality product in that they put some time into the bottle. Everything's like raised and all that.
Yeah,
it's
you
really
have like
cool.
raised with the Hanks logo on the actual bottle itself.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool bottle.
And then you have like the circular patch back here for.
Yeah, they got like these where the labels are. They've actually got a raised circle or oval, if you will. You can see. Probably kind of see where it's at, where the edge of the label is.
Just in case you drop it.
I gotta drop it.
I don't know. Have you had too much to drink?
I'd like to drink because my head hurts and I just.
They actually encourage that on Twitch, right?
What?
Drinking.
Really?
Yes, it helps you. I actually read through the rules. They encourage it.
I would thought drinking drugs or any type obviously drugs would be a bad.
Oh yeah, drugs is bad to do on stream.
Drinking's actually okay to do on stream.
Yeah, you don't have to.
That's so weird.
Blur it out or anything.
That's strange. I didn't know that. All right.
I actually watched a streamer who did for one stream have a few drinks.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, moving on then. Bethesda implements DRM on Doom from 1993. So, QuakeCon was going on this last week.
And Comic-Con.
It was so strange. Like, they picked a weird time to be doing that.
And Gen Con's Wednesday.
I know. One of these years we got to do Gen Con.
Comic-Con.
Or Comic-Con for that matter. It's just
Comic-Con's in New York.
Comic-Cons go all over the.
Yeah, but the two major ones I think are California and New York.
The San Diego Comic-Con's the biggest one, I think. New York Comic-Con is probably the next one in line, and then there are several, like even Ohio gets a Comic-Con too.
No, that's what we call Origins.
Well, but we do actually get a Comic-Con, but I think it's in September, October.
So it's always during time of me having
right.
school.
It's always during school time, and it's such a pain for us.
See, the rest of conventions wait until everyone's out.
Well, it's one of those things. So during QuakeCon, Bethesda announced that they're going to re-release Dooms 1 through 3 on the Switch, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and mobile.
Oh my God! You brought back that quote from BlizzCon.
Don't you guys have a cell phone? Or a smartphone, or whatever the hell they said.
It was smartphone.
Yeah. So
I didn't even see that you brought that quote back.
So they included a required online. Apparently, when it was originally posted, and still apparently now, there's going to be an update, and I'll talk about that in a second. Required a Bethesda.net login to play these games, which is kind of weird considering most of these games are out in the open. I think there's a version of Doom that's technically licensed. It's a open license or something like that.
Yeah, there is.
And
I know because I played
it. So it required a Bethesda.net login before you could play the game. In fact, let me one of these links.
One of these links is not like the other. One of these links is
copy link. I'll show you the. Now here's the thing. Bethesda is saying that it was a mistake, that this login was supposed to be optional, but based on this particular
hand transition.
Yes,
Thank
transition. Based on this screen that pops up, it says Bethesda.net account is required to play this title. I don't see that as, oops, we screwed up. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be optional. That does not say optional to me.
Yeah, that does not.
So, yeah, they got it.
And if it was a screw up, someone screwed it up hard.
Yeah, let's not even go there. But yeah, they
Bethesda, stop screwing your games.
So yeah, a lot of people are pretty ticked off about that. And apparently, it's also got a 25-page terms of service.
What the?
Yeah.
How many pages was the original terms of service on them?
Probably none.
It was back then. Probably none.
Yeah, we're talking. Doom was originally come out in the DOS era, like it was early Windows. And I can remember back in the day when Doom came out. You got those Doom shareware discs, floppies that we used to get all the time, which is like the first level of Doom or whatever. And we used to just play the shit out of that. But yeah, so according to Bethesda, and this is part of that Arch Technica article that we sort of just showed part of, Bethesda said the login was meant to be optional and for their Slayer Club members, which is supposed to give you kind of like points for playing their games. Says that they're working to.
DOS, haven't heard that in a while.
It says they're working to resolve the problem, and then a future update will make that an optional requirement. Yeah, like I said, kind of stupid.
I think I gotta go for a second.
Why is Mitchell
Because he's with Nash.
Well, I realize that, but that's.
So if one doesn't call him.
Just message him and tell him to come over, and we'll hang out after the podcast.
Because I already texted Faith saying to get the door for the boys.
It's just probably not even up.
No, she's up. She opened the text.
Oh, did she?
Yep.
All right.
I heard her.
I will let you do the next topic because you're a little more familiar with this than I am.
And I've also done it a lot more than you.
You have a gambling problem.
Okay, I do not have a gambling problem. Thank you very much.
Yep. Denial is the first step.
I'm sorry. How much has it won me in game, and how much have I actually spent on the game? Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think the boys are here. I heard the dog.
Yeah.
Bark. We'll see.
Okay, so GTA Online Diamond Casino. It came in last Tuesday, and in over 50 countries, that update is banned. Like, they let it go through, but some players either you can't get the update, you can go in, but you can't play any of the actual games.
Literally nothing is you can touch nothing in the casino, which is.
I don't even think you can do the lucky spin wheel.
No, my understanding, because you can't do the lucky spin wheel until you
get the membership.
Until you get the membership,
and you can't even do that on this.
Right.
But
what?
There's a 50,000 cap for chips per day.
Yeah, apparently you can only exchange in-game currency for up to 50,000 a day.
Huh. That must.
It's about 50,000.
I can only do 20,000 on a trip.
Apparently, the 50K is if you have the penthouse.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Because you can, you can do the high rollers.
Boys. Okay. Tell them we'll be out after this.
As soon as we're done with podcast.
I think they were messing with her.
So there's a lot of talk about, is this online gambling? And part of the problem is that, hi.
I love. Hey, we have grease gone, so if you need to get that. Oh, you were actually helping.
Actually, it is setting on the sink.
Yeah, it's setting on the sink to the left, I do believe.
So yeah, certain people obviously.
Hold on. If we got interrupted, it's the boys.
Yeah, it was the boys. So a lot of speculation about this being online gambling, and technically it is, because technically you can pay with shark cards, which are real money for in-game currency.
And it's like what, $80 for $6 million in game.
I don't know what the exact exchange rate. When I was listening to Kind of Funny Games, they said buying $50,000 worth of chips in game with shark cards equals out to about $1.50 a day. Is the most you can technically spend per day on the game, converting real cash to chips. I'm not crazy about that for a lot of reasons.
What, that
you can exchange real currency, you can exchange real currency for.
But that was in the game way before, so if people wanted to jumpstart their games.
I realize that, and I personally have never spent money on that game as far as the shark cards. You bought shark cards?
Twice.
When did you buy shark cards?
Once when I was playing the 360, and once on Steam. There's a reason why I got my house so quick.
We need to talk. You have a gambling problem.
No.
It needs to be an intervention.
That was before the casino.
Yeah.
That was before. I had my Del Perro Heights.
If you've been watching some of his streams, you've noticed that he's been lingering around the casino quite a bit.
No, it's been drugs. That doesn't even sound right.
It doesn't sound right.
It's been selling cocaine,
which is not necessarily. You're digging yourself in a hole here.
Hey, look, if I'm making $420,000 a sell, and then on top of that,
he's sitting here trying to justify selling drugs in a video game. It's pretty hilarious.
And then I can make $300,000 a night in the casino.
Anyway,
I'm making $1 million every 2 days.
You have a gambling problem.
Wait. They're on my account.
Yep. They're like, screw it, we're going to play some Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, they better not give my money away.
We might want to hurry along.
Yes, please.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm not crazy about this. I do understand online gambling. I think that putting this in the way they did, because of the fact that, 50 countries is a lot of countries not being able to even touch I think it really makes it a difficult sell for the players that are already playing. I've heard a lot of players are very upset because they can't interact with the casino. But it's not much they can do because it's they're dealing with local laws concerning gambling. So
Nintendo. Okay, Nintendo. Come on, people.
Oh,
What?
I bought 2016 Doom. It was on set. It was on Steam sale. That was the thing I was going to talk about when we were talking about Doom. I did finally pick up the.
But didn't you play it on Xbox? Game Pass?
I think I can, but I own pretty much. I think every version of Doom now on PC,
except for the new one, which has not came out yet. Wait, has Doom Eternal came out yet?
No, it's coming October, September.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got the Doom 3 BFG edition, which actually has 1, 2, and 3. And then I bought the
Doom.
I bought the 2016 release.
Doom. Nope. I have the playlist song going through my head now.
Anyway, I'll let you take this one too.
Okay, Nintendo. We need to have a talk. I've had on-hands experience with your Joy-Cons. Some absolutely and utterly suck. And I can see where people are coming with this drift Joy-Cons stuff. Because trying to do that stuff in Smash Bros., I can tell you, especially in tournaments, suck.
Well, the biggest problem is the fact that a lot of these people obviously are spending a large amount of money for a Switch. And
the thing is, they're having to not only pay out for the Switch, get the added stuff that they need to actually run the darn thing.
Well,
and then they have Joy-Cons that work for 4 or 5 months, and then it starts breaking, and they have to send it back for a fee just to get them repaired. And they're basically paying for brand new.
And I'm assuming that this response basically, and so here's the official response was, at Nintendo, we take great pride in creating quality products, and we are continually making improvements to them. Via a Nintendo representative telling Kotaku. We are aware of recent reports that some Joy-Con controllers are not responding correctly. We want our customers to have fun with the Switch, and if anything falls short of this goal, we are always encouraging to visit support.nintendo so we can help. So basically what it comes down to is the update is Nintendo says they will repair Joy-Cons for free and refund those who have paid for the repairs, which legitimately they should. I mean, there's not much more to say really about that. They should have been doing it from day one,
and they weren't.
And and they weren't. So, Avengers.
Yeah, I finally saw that it actually beat Avatar in the box office.
It finally beat the gross on.
Now everyone's going to be striving to beat the Avengers, and that's going to be a very hard task to do.
So they're what they did was re-release it in theaters so that they could scrounge up a little extra money on it too.
I think it was 1.6 million extra that they needed.
It wasn't a ton that they needed to beat.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't over 2 million. I know that.
Yeah,
but it was enough to where it was in theaters for a few more weeks, other than the 2 weeks that they said.
Right. And then moving on, during the San Diego Comic-Con this week, Marvel announced Phase 4 of its movie and TV series. They did not include the Avengers movies, so we don't know. We don't have a definitive date.
Yeah, we don't know exactly when those are going to come, if they're going to come.
Right. And I put these in pretty much roughly date order that they're listed.
Roughly, yeah.
The thing for me is like I think we're gonna get oversaturated with Marvel. They've managed a pretty good spread out of a lot of these movies in the past, but now it's gonna be like in your face.
Well, some of these like Spring 2021, that's on Disney Plus.
Right. Well,
it's same with the Hawkeye. That's
right, and I'm not saying that.
That's Disney Plus.
Between the movies and TV shows, though, we're getting a ton of Marvel content.
Oh, we always got a ton of Marvel content.
Not to this degree, I think.
Because when we weren't seeing movies popping up, we were seeing TV shows popping up. And then a movie would come out, TV shows would be off for a little while, and then they always kept that content going.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing with this.
So the breakdown runs like this. We got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, spring 2020. The little teaser
notice that they did not
logo shows
use the name Captain America.
Yeah, it shows the Captain America shield.
So are we going to see a red, white, and blue Falcon?
You know what? I don't know. That's going to be a very good question on some of these.
And we know that he's either going to be using the shield or a version of the shield.
Right. Then there's Black Widow, which comes out May 1st, 2020.
And that's TV.
Right. That's a TV, but that's going to be almost like a movie series on their...
What was the time frame for this one? Was this before Iron Man?
I don't think we have an exact time frame, but this is going to be...
Because I read the description online about what it's supposed to be, and it says becomes the superhero Black Widow.
I think this is going to be before this. I think this is going to be before she joins Shield, or this is right after. One of the two. It's going to be somewhere in that ballpark, is what I think. Then we got the Eternals.
Well, it actually says movie, fantasy adventure, international spy and assassin Natasha Romanoff becomes the superhero Black Widow.
It is a movie, but it's going to be on the Disney Plus.
Okay. Eternals. Now that's going to be an actual movie.
Yeah, the Eternals I think is going to be an actual movie. This one has been said that Angelina Jolie is going to play one of the Eternals.
I'm trying to remember who the Eternals were.
The Eternals were kind of like a cosmic entity. So they fit a little bit in the category of like Galactus in that respect.
But aren't they bigger than Galactus? So shouldn't Galactus come first?
No, Galactus is huge. Galactus most likely will be the next Avengers.
And strength.
In-game.
And hardness to beat. The Eternals, since there's more of them, should be after Galactus.
The dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, his dad was an Eternal.
We're talking about Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord's dad.
Ego.
Yeah, he technically I think was
he was Eternal.
He was an Eternal.
So, hold up. That might have Guardians. That might be Guardians 3.
That Eternals movie may have other characters. There's a chance that Star-Lord could be involved in that.
Star-Lord and whole crew.
We never know, but speculation anyway at this point.
Yeah, rumors.
Then WandaVision's coming spring 2021. I think it's kind of a stupid name.
TV show.
Yeah, it's going to be the TV show. Then we're getting the Loki, which is...
You do know what that is off of, right? What that's actually supposed to be?
It's based off of one of the comic series for her.
No, I meant the Loki.
Oh, the Loki. The Loki movie one is going to be based off a alternate timeline version, which is where he got the space stuff, from the last Avengers movie. It's
coming from Endgame.
Right.
Where they screwed up and let Loki
took off with the Space Stone.
Yeah, they let him take off with Space Stone, and so it's going to be going off of that Loki. Little tidbit information. Now, this one's actually already, we've seen trailers.
Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. This is basically the Mandarin at this point.
Actually, we saw a teaser for this already.
I don't think I saw a teaser. Maybe
there was a teaser.
Was there? Okay, I'll have to go back and watch that. We think I'm pretty sure this is going to be the Mandarin.
Oh, it's already, it's confirmed. Mandarin.
It's Mandarin.
They're going back to the one from Iron Man 3. They're elaborating.
Okay. And then May 7th, 2021 is going to be the next Doctor Strange, it's called In the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently, this is a take on a comic book series that's pretty popular.
Scarlet Witch is going to be with him in this.
Huh, that'd be kind of cool.
She bends reality, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, that's true. Here's one that I'm not necessarily the happiest about, because this is gonna for fans that aren't deep in it.
I looked at it and I'm like, what if? What's that?
It's called What If, and there was a whole comic book series of what ifs, and basically what they do is they turn the Marvel universe upside down. So you have characters who are playing
So they're literally doing this just for fun.
So imagine a situation where Tony Stark is, he plays Captain America type of like literally those kind of situations where, what if one character ended up in a different place, and
what if this never happened? What if this happened?
Right. It's literally, it's going to be like TV shows. I'll kind of almost put it in a Twilight Zone
I
kind of.
thought I saw this coming to Disney Plus.
It is Disney Plus. It is a Disney Plus.
You didn't put what was Disney Plus and what
I
wasn't.
know. I just kind of.
I have the actual like photo of it on my phone somewhere.
Then we're getting Hawkeye. Oh, excuse me. Oh, damn. We're getting Hawkeye at fall of 2021. Thor: Love and Thunder is May 5th, 2021. This one stirred up a lot of people. Natalie Portman is going to return. She was the love interest from one of the early movies.
A few of the early movies.
And in the Comic-Con kind of speaking thing where people who were in the particular movie or movies, obviously Natalie Portman was there, and she was handed Mjolnir. So she they have all. I think they have confirmed at this point that she's taking over for Thor. She will be the female version of Thor, which is really strange to me. But
okay, but they're gonna have to do something because in MCU, Thor is with the Guardians right now.
Yes, but you got to remember he's going to be
multiverse. Sorry.
Well, that too. But I think I think her taking over as Thor is going to be the transition for him leaving, or him going back to Asgard and becoming the leader of Asgard.
They already confirmed that Valkyrie was leader of Asgard now.
Well, she is at the moment.
She's the queen of Asgard.
And then the big one, and this is the one it seems like everybody's talking about, is Blade is returning to the MCU.
That's actually not Phase 4. It was announced, but not Phase 4.
They haven't dated this one yet. They do have who's playing Blade, which is Mahershala Ali. He's a very well-known actor. I mean,
I forget what he's played.
He's won many awards, actor awards. I like the actor. But I don't know if he has the skills to do Blade. That's my problem. Partly my problem is his age. And there's a lot of big fans, and I happen to be somewhat one of them, of Wesley Snipes in that role. I understand partly why they didn't bring him back. One, Wesley Snipes is extraordinarily difficult to work with in a movie. At least he was in the last one. Apparently it got so bad that, and Norman Osborn, I think, is that his name? I know his last name's Osborn. He literally wouldn't talk to the director directly. He would pass Post-it notes back and forth. That's the only way he would have any conversation with the director. And he saw every one of the Post-it notes he signed Blade. Like, he was that into the character. Apparently he absolutely hates Ryan Reynolds. Apparently those two two butt heads through the whole movie.
And sadly, Ryan Reynolds can't do that character again.
No, Ryan Reynolds cannot do that character. At least not in the traditional sense, but
because now he's Deadpool.
But there is a lot of fans who are wanting Blade or Wesley Snipes to come back and play the Whistler character.
Yeah, the mentor.
So, I think that would be an that would be an interesting twist, and both possibly a.
Didn't the mentor die in the second or third one?
I know he's dead.
Because the facility was raided.
Yeah, I know he's that character's dead, but that actor has really died, so he couldn't even reprise that role if he wanted to.
Which he probably would have if he.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, he was. He passed away a few years ago.
See Triple H come back and do the character that he did.
Oh God, no! Hopefully not. We know.
Did we just get the death look?
Yeah. Then they talked about the Black Panther sequel.
What she cares? They're playing my game right now.
The Black Panther sequel. They didn't announce a date on that one. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which right now I think they're talking 2021.
That was the actual. That was the Phase 4.
Well, that's the ones with the announced dates. And then Captain Marvel 2 also doesn't have a release date. Now there was a question that was asked, and Kevin Feige said, "I didn't even have time to talk about the Fantastic Four, and there's no time to talk about mutants." Boy, am I really that bad at typing?
Yes.
And needless to say, the crowd went bonkers.
You didn't even spell Guardians right.
I know. I saw that. So there's definitely a good chance with that Fantastic Four and the mutant.
And there's a
X-Men.
There's a few good ways that they can bring the mutants in.
There's quite a bit.
You, me, and Sidious have talked about.
Well, especially because they're obviously digging into the multiverse.
Oh, definitely. There's either they can do the multiverse theory. They can do my kind of favorite theory. Order shipped.
Yep. I got the official confirmation that
they can do
my parts for my bike
the
is shipped.
snap theory and unsnap theory, which is where
I think
Xavier use.
I think they're gonna if they're gonna play this, they're gonna play multiverse theory.
It would be one.
They'll restart the characters over again, most likely, and do a couple of movies, setting them up, and then probably those characters will come over in a multiverse in the Avengers. That's what I'm figuring. It's gonna be an Avengers movie. But the big question is,
Hugh Jackman gets to.
You're right. Will Hugh Jackman play the Wolverine one last time?
A few last times.
In Avengers.
And he goes out in Blaze of Glory in Avengers. That's the only way I will let him not play Wolverine anymore. They finally they kill him off.
They killed him off in the last movie.
But that was not official MCU.
Still.
They did do the whole Old Man Logan series. I almost cried in that movie,
dude. That was a masterpiece. Like
it was awesome. I want to see X-23 come back.
I do. I agree. I want to see X-23 come back. I think she played a really awesome character.
Who knows? They might actually do Logan with X-23 as a daughter in the mutants stuff.
There's a good possibility of that. I agree with you.
Not to make people mad.
I totally agree with you. I totally cried in that movie.
I almost did. I didn't.
It was a brilliant piece of writing. It was a brilliant piece of acting. It really shined what the X-Men movie should have been.
Yeah, we saw the end of Professor X.
There's no reason that a lot of the movies that we got with the cheesy writing and the half-ass directing and whatnot, why we couldn't have got that. We should have gotten that level of X-Men from day one, especially with Wolverine. And
some of the Wolverine movies were just straight up awesome.
A few were good, but that last one showed what it should have been. You know what I mean? And I think I'd be excited to have that level of writing and directing in the MCU and bringing back some of those characters or rewriting some of those characters. But I would love to see Hugh Jackman one last time with the Avengers kicking ass.
And sadly, he can't be standing next to Tony Stark, Steve Rogers.
Technically, if they pull a multiverse, technically they could.
Do you really think RDJ is going to come back and do it?
I think for the right amount of money, I think he would.
And what about Chris Evans?
I think if it was if it was if it was going to be that like one and done, I think he would come back. I know for a fact that Helmsworth would definitely deal a one-off.
Well, he still has movies in his contract.
2. I think he's got 2 left.
Yeah, I mean, I think one's going to be a Guardians.
One's going to be a Guardians. One's going to be
Volume 3.
Right, and one's going to be the Thor for Love and Thunder.
Thor
movie.
4.
So, but yeah, I sort of want to dig deep, but I also sort of don't, because this is the whole Marvel thing is a topic I want to have on the other podcast that I want to do.
What is that the one topic that you wrote about?
It is not it's actually the whole topic is Star Trek. The first episode is Star Trek.
First episode.
The first episode topics are all going to be. It's going to be talking about the Picard series. It's going to talk about Discovery and where it's at.
Orbital.
Orville will be a totally different conversation. I think there's some Orville references in there, but it's
Orville's more of a comedy one than it
right.
is.
That deserves a whole conversation in its own.
With what I've seen, I think I watched most of the first season, and then spots of second season.
Yeah,
Star Trek Picard looks really good.
It does. I'm both anxiously excited and hopefully they're not going to fuck it up. That's where I'm at. I'm like, because the thing is, they really, when it came to Discovery, they really started to screw it up, and then thank God they really turned that around in the second season, and they finally. I totally agree with you, Joe. Orville has become the new Star Trek, and I will say the second season definitely pulled the stride as far as like the story and the writing and the continuation of his story, because there for a while they were trying sort of that Star Trek-y, one episode and done thing, and I like it. I kind of like it better as an episodic continuation.
Like 2-3 episodes and then
I like it as a continuation where
it's a linear flow.
Right, with a linear flow. It doesn't necessarily have to be a day-to-day linear flow, but having a linear flow of...
I mean, most TV shows do, like, they reference it's by week.
It's something that has become more modern, but in the early... Even when you look at Next Generation, you look at Deep Space Nine, all those were episodics. And yeah, they do reference previous episodes, but
it's well made, but it's not his Star Trek. Okay.
Oh my God! See, I want to have that conversation, but I can't. If I do, I'll start ruining the conversation for the. Yeah, Joe. When I do the thing, I'll have to.
Now, are you streaming that on this channel or?
I don't know if I'm going to do it live. I may just do. I may just do audio.
What, you're not even going to actually record face cam and whatnot and then throw it up on channel?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I agree. Star Trek Discovery, I enjoy. Here's my whole.
Oh God, you got him talking.
Real take of Discovery. Okay, if you're a true Star Trek fan and you can't deal with the Kelvin stuff, and really it should have been a Kelvin thing. It really should have been a Kelvin timeline thing. You're gonna absolutely hate Discovery. If you just enjoy it for the story and the characters, and you kind of leave the whole that it is Star Trek out kind of on the back burner, Star Trek Discovery can be an enjoyable experience even as a fan. And that's the way I took Discovery, and when I jumped into Discovery, because I was kind of pissed at the beginning. And I'm not a Gen 1. I'm a Star Trek Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. I'm not Doc is the his Star Trek is the original series. And I know enough of the Star Trek history of the original series. There's no Gene. True. But it ultimately
Today, Junior.
Very funny. It ultimately is one of those things you have to take the whole thing in a little bit of a stride, and like I said, it can be an enjoyable experience, but I will admit I think they made huge mistakes with that first season, which they sort of cleared up by the end of the second season. But I won't ruin the spoilers. But anyway, like I said, that's a topic for a different show. Though I would love to have that conversation. So the last topic on our list is a Pennsylvania school district sends warning letters to parents that your kids could be placed in foster care for unpaid lunch bills. The district said their children could be taken to dependency court, and that the whole thing is just a huge mess, and frankly, somebody needs to sue the school district and also
school board.
Whenever the whole school board and all thing goes in for their re-elections, they need to get rid of them all. People should have been fired for this. The county child enforcement agency director basically told them they need to retract that letter because it was not going to happen that way. The district apparently is in dire need of money, and they have like $20,000 worth of unpaid lunch fees. Here's the thing that even more ticks me off. Okay, Todd Carmichael, I think is how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He's a CEO. So obviously he's got money. Told the Associated Press he offered the school district $22,000 to pay off all the debts, and was told no because the parents who got the letters could afford to pay up. And obviously you can't repeat what I'm about to say, but on the end of this, I put "fuck you" to the school district. Frankly, I'd be calling for these guys' resignations. These school districts need to understand that they work for us, that we pay, that we're the ones that, they are not state-run agencies. They do not have government oversight. These school districts are a representation of the community they serve. To me, this is no different than a local police department. They have there are rules of which of the way they play these games, and they need to understand that they are not king. They are not the president of the United States, as if you will. That they are, they need to understand what people, the real world, and they need to understand that they do not control everything. I have a lot of problem with the way schools handle things. You and I have, obviously we won't totally go into that conversation, but we've had.
I have a lot of problems with schools, but
we've had issues
I'm not accepted
where school, we've had issues where a school has gotten into personal business that did not concern them, that legally did not concern them, and I will say that. And it's one of those things that they need to learn. And this is a conversation you and I have had. My problem with a lot of schools is you get this situation where things that happen that are not on school grounds, that aren't conducive to the effect of the school district themselves, and they want to get involved with a student's personal life. And yet when in a situation where, like your sister, not one block past the school, gets jumped by students who had been kicked out of school, and the school district then doesn't want to deal with it. Like it's not their problem.
Darn thing.
Yeah, literally, I said it's not on school property. It's not our problem. And that's my problem with these school districts. They want to get involved when it's convenient for them with students' lives, and then when they should get involved when there's things like bullying and students who very obviously are problems for the other students, and they don't want to get involved, and they don't want to get involved because they're afraid because somebody's going to call race, or somebody's going to call gender, or whatever. They don't want to get involved because they don't want to be in publicity. But the moment it becomes publicity, they want to get involved. I mean, we've seen this for many years now. We've got students who have committed suicide because of bullying and things like that, and the school district, and in many of these cases, the school district had been made aware of that this was going on and did nothing about it, and then it didn't want to do nothing until it was too late. And it's one of those things. And let me tell you, as an adult or as a child, if you feel like you're gonna do that, you need to talk to somebody. There are plenty of places to go that are not school related, or whatever, to get help. if you're having those kind of feelings, please, call prevention hotline, do whatever you need to do. These are the kind of reasons that schools need to be revamped. They need to. I think they really need to.
The whole way that the schools are done needs to be revamped.
Yeah, they need to.
Ain't 19th century no more, people.
They need to become more part of a community, and and these people that are in charge of these school districts, unfortunately, are notorious. Unfortunately, like politicians, they get into power. They stay in that position for years and years and years.
They think they know what they're doing. They think it's best for the community.
Well,
when really it's draining.
Well, and the thing is that these people aren't about the community. They aren't about the students. They're all about their personal. You know what I mean? All they're worried about is their retirement. All they're worried about is their reputation.
It's greed in a way.
It's like that little riot that broke out at your school a few years back.
What do you mean? There was a riot last year.
This
school year.
It was last year.
It was this past school year. There was an actual riot going on in my school.
And there were things we know the school covered up.
Oh, I have photos and videos of.
Yeah, there were photos and videos
actually covered up.
Well, and the worst part is they got called out on it, and then they shut up. They quit talking about it.
Oh no! All the students called out the principals on it.
Yeah,
and the main principal just shut up and would not talk to anyone.
Yeah, the media it got big enough. The little local media got involved in it, and then the school district shut up. They wouldn't talk about it after that, even though there was some serious things that happened that should have been taken care of, and they did nothing. And that was another instance where the school district covered up and
it's bad if the students are willing to talk and the principals aren't.
Yeah.
The ones who should be taking responsibility.
Yeah, and honestly, we could go all day on that kind of stuff. I could talk about things that happened back when I was a kid, and I have personally seen the politics involved in school, running a school district, and it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that way, but it is.
You shouldn't have to go, oh, well, we want to be one of the top 100 schools in this area, or.
Well, you should always strive to be better.
Yeah, you should always try to be better, but.
Schools
putting your students behind your reputation, or you're putting your reputation first instead of your students and community safety. That's not how it should be run.
Yeah, your personal, thing is
kids come first.
Yeah, right? Kids should always be first in that category, and one student should never compromise the rest. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what ethnicity or whether you're a boy, girl, trans, whatever, one should not outweigh the rest. You know what I mean? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and I think that involves both the staff and the students in that category. It is about the learning process. It is about, and I don't think they teach enough. I don't think they grow you as individuals. That I don't think they give you the opportunity to understand some of the very basics of life.
Taxes, cooking.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing.
Just name a few. I mean, I have a list. You want to hear it?
No, and a lot of that stuff, I'll be honest, was
you guys had that growing up. You guys had wood shop and.
Here's what I'll tell you: that stuff was starting to go away about the time I was out of school, and I graduated class of 2000.
Concerns.
But the thing is, I grew up in with the exception of the last few years of my high school years, we carried a pocket knife. It was nothing.
And now you can.
You'd pretty much go to jail if you had a Swiss Army knife in your pocket. And don't get me wrong, we didn't have no big Bowie knife or anything like that. But
it's like I can't even carry my multi-tool.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. Oh, all of us had multi-tools back then. I mean,
I can't even carry that into my school without having to hide it. If someone needs
it. For one, you wouldn't be carrying that into school because you're not allowed to. But to say that, something like that.
I'm not dumb enough to do it, but if I absolutely need to, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Without getting in trouble.
And it's just ridiculous on the kind of things that the schools have become and whatnot. Like I said, that'd be another conversation. Maybe we'll have a deep dive on that. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on that kind of thing.
We almost need to.
Yeah, we could pretty well fill up a whole episode just talking about
that would probably be like a 2-hour episode.
Probably. But anyway, we're gonna end the episode there. Thanks for everybody watching. I'm Travis. You can find me at My Done Life.
I'm Austin. You can find me on Instagram at SpidersNest713 and on Twitter at SpiderARA713.
And you can find us mostly weekly on twitch.tv/SpiderARA713, around between 8 and 9 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time when we go live. You also can find us on most major audio podcast services, and we're talking Anchor, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Pocket Cast, pretty much all of the major ones. And then you can also find him on his YouTube channel if you do search for My Life is Austin, which is kind of a play on My Life is Awesome. You can also catch the live videos there. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Yep. Peace out, everybody. No, not me.
Yeah. Come on.
I hate your mouse sometimes.
Transition.
Peace out.